What's up, guys? It's your favorite Chinese demon killing, 18-wheeler driving beast known as Jack Burton. And bear with me, this is my first video on this channel, so I probably will mess up a few times. But as you can see, the gameplay right now is a little bit of World War Z. Just came out yesterday. I will say I do enjoy this game. It reminds me a lot of the Left 4 Dead games, although it seems like the zombies are a little bit easier to kill, but still, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot more zombies on the screen, obviously. It's a very good game. It's going to, depending on how well they support it, this game may have some legs for a long, long time. But anyway, let's get into today's topics. Today's topics, first topic is going to be about the PS5 announcements that were made by AMD and by Sony themselves. So what we have is Sony and I believe it was AMD. I think both of them announced it today. They announced some specifics with the PS5. No dates, no dollar signs, just basically a little bit of specs of the system. But the thing is, we've been hearing about these specs going on, I don't know, a few months now, maybe a little bit more, a little bit longer than that. So basically, the CPU is going to be a Ryzen, I think it's generation either 2 or 3 technology. Again, we don't know the gigahertz, what's going to be running at. They also talked about the GPU and how it's going to be of Navi technology. Already pretty much knew that. Also, going to have a SSD drive. Didn't say how big it's going to be. Talked about how it's going to have VR compatibility, with the VR you have now, I believe. And of course, they're going to have second generation VR. I've been reading about that a little bit. They're trying to make it to where it's going to be a lot less wires, almost like it's going to be wireless. If it's wireless, I probably will try it out. So then you have that, and then of course it's going to be backwards compatible with PS4 games. And I think that's pretty much it. I mean, everything they talked about, we pretty much already knew. To go a little bit deeper than that, you could compare it to the dev kits that have been pretty much, I guess you could say, announced or exposed or however you want to say it for the new Xbox, the next Xbox generation console. We know that console most likely is going to have 24 gigabytes of GDDR6 because the dev kit comes with 48 gigabytes. So pretty much the dev kit is always double of what the console is going to be. It also comes with a 4 terabyte SSD drive, so that tells me that the Anaconda is going to be a 2 terabyte SSD, and that's pretty much all we know about that right now. I mean, they talked about Navi as well, Ryzen, the whole 9. But, I mean, you have to remember, too, the consoles, whatever the gigabyte or whatever the RAM is in the console, like for example, the Xbox One X has 12 gigabytes of GDDR5. Well, 3 of those are being used for the GUI, the OS. So, so that means that the system itself has 9 gigabytes of GDDR5 to utilize for games, which is, I think, 4 more than what the PS4 Pro has. So, but yeah, I mean, the Xbox One, the next Xbox system, the next gen system, I mean, if it has 24 gigabytes of DDR6, That means about 3 of those will be used for the GUI, and then it'll have about 21 for gaming, which would be that would be amazing. But anyway, and we also know that it will most likely be a 12 to 14 teraflop GPU with Nami technology. But anyway, that's the PS5. Let's compare it a little bit to the next gen Xbox system as well. What we know about that system as well. And as you can see, I'm not playing this game very well. We're getting used to it, though. I'm getting used to it. So we also have today the Inside Xbox came out. And I'm not going to go through everything that happened there, but the main points was, they finally announced that they're combining Game Pass and Xbox Live Gold into, I want to say it was Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is what it's called. Basically, it's a service. You get Gold and you get Game Pass for the price of $14.99 every month. Now, they didn't say anything about, obviously they're probably going to have it for a year. The year deals are going to have it for 3-month deals. They're going to have it for 6-month deals, so on and so forth. But they announced that today. So, they announced that. They also announced whatever we already knew. I think it was a couple of days ago they broke the news about the all-digital system. So we already knew about that system. And, of course, they did announce it today. The price is $249.99. It does, though, come with 3 games. It comes with Minecraft, Forza Horizon 3, and it comes with Sea of Thieves. You also get 3 months of Game Pass, essentially for free. It's only $1, but you do get Game Pass for, it's included with the system, 3 months of Game Pass. There was a lot of people griping about it, the price. I don't blame them. I mean, to me, it probably should have been a $200 console. But if they're going to have sales on this, like they have sales on the Xbox One S, then it will always be lower than the S either way. So it's really, the MSRP doesn't mean the retailers are going to sell it for that price. So we know that by a lot. Well, we know that by multiple websites, Amazon, Walmart, etc., that sell these consoles for cheaper than what they are. They always have deal sales, etc. Another thing they announced was Ninja Gaiden 2 was going to be the next Xbox, the next backwards compatible, backwards compatible game. As you know, Ninja Gaiden 2 came on 360. It would be enhanced. They also announced, which means it'll be 4K, better textures, better frame rates, etc. It's also going to. They also announced 5 other games: Fable 2, 3, Splinter Cell, was it Double Agent, Conviction, and I can't remember what the other one's. Black Site. It's the last Splinter Cell game that came out like in 2. Anyway, they were all 360 games, and they're all enhanced now. They're all 4K. Better textures, better everything. So that was pretty cool news. I mean, anytime games get those free upgrades, you don't have to buy remasters, all that. That's pretty cool. And of course, Ninja Gaiden 2 was one of the best games of last generation, so that's very good. It improved pretty much on everything from the first Ninja Gaiden game, from the Xbox, and of course Ninja Gaiden Black that came out for the, I believe it was the PS3 and the Xbox 360. So, there was that news. They had a little things in there, like there's going to be a huge update for Sea of Thieves for free. April 30th is the anniversary edition. I guess it's pretty much more DLC, better ways to play the game. Sea of Thieves has pretty much been improving the last year. Pretty much, what Sea of Thieves is now probably is how the game should have launched. It kind of sucks that it didn't launch this way, with so small content, but it is getting better now, and they also announced something else, I think. Oh, yeah, it was State of Decay 2 has now upped its player count to 5 million players in a year, about a year being on the market, I believe. State of Decay 2, I believe, came out either April or May of last year. So that's pretty good. I mean, the game, State of Decay 2 would have been a great game if it wouldn't have launched buggy as hell. and damn near broken. Of course, they fixed the bugs now. DLC's been pretty good, and yeah, the game is actually pretty good now. But again, launch it better the first time. As far as the new all digital system, I believe that system is a test case for Microsoft. It's a test case, more or less. Now, again, to me, the system itself basically will be for people like who play Madden, NBA 2K, and Call of Duty, and that's pretty much all they play. Now, you have that one-off game that some of these people do play once in a while. The GTA 5s, the Red Dead Redemptions 2s, the Metro Exodus games, those type of games, they'll play. It's always a one-off for them. They'll buy that extra game, but typically they stick with their 3 games. I think that's who Microsoft is targeting with this system. I could be completely wrong, but that's to me is who they're targeting. Also, again, I think it's a test case. It's a test case for them because when they go out with next generation, they're going to, when they come out next generation, I believe that they're going to be, because again, you have to remember, Microsoft pretty much has already announced they're coming out with 2 SKUs next generation. So they're going to come out with the Anaconda and maybe something called the Lockhart. I have a feeling that if this new all-digital system, if there is a market out there, let's say they sell 1 million of these things, I have a feeling they're going to come out and basically the lower price system is going to be an all-digital system. Now, the Anaconda is going to have everything. It's going to have, again, 2 terabytes. It's going to probably have 2 terabytes of SSD drive. It's going to have a disk drive, a 4K disk drive, I'm pretty sure. Hell, I don't think they'll have an 8K disk drive. Again, when it comes to 8K, that's another thing, too, that the PS5, I forgot to sell it. They said about 8K gaming. I just don't, sure, but I think they're probably going to have 8K games, kind of like they had 4K games early on with the Pro and with the Xbox One S, games that weren't crazy task games. Now, I can't say that about the Xbox One X. The Xbox One X actually had a couple of games that were 4K games right off the bat. But anyway, moving along. But yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that Microsoft is looking at a test case for this with the digital, and they're just doing it because when they come out with next generation, they are going to look at. I want to say they're going to look at to see if they can sell that Lockhart for $100 less without one, and then they'll give it to the digital people. And I think that's how that's going to be. I really do. I think that's how that system is going to be. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But those are pretty much the highlights of the day for the Inside Xbox, and of course Sony talking about the PS5, which really didn't talk about anything because everybody was getting hyped, and I'm like, what are they getting hyped about? We knew about this months ago. We knew it was going to have Navi. We knew it was going to have an SSD drive. We knew it was going to have Ryzen technology. We pretty much knew it was going to be backwards compatible, at least for the PS4. And it sounds like that's all they're going for because, again, they're not going to undercut themselves when it comes to PS Now. PS Now is a service that makes Sony a lot of money. And they're not going to sit there and cut their nose off to spite their face just because consumers want that. They're making way too much money off of that. Now, PS4 games, I get it. Now, the only question is, are they going to give PS5 owners free upgrades like Microsoft gives their consumers free upgrades? And what I'm talking about is 4K. So let's say you have a game that came out for, like God of War, for example. We know that game is checkerboard 4K. So when it comes out with PS5, are they going to upgrade that game to, say, native 4K, higher textures, higher frame rates, so on and so forth? Is Sony going to do that for free? Or are they going to make you pay for it? And that's a big question that I want to know. But again, to me, it's kind of hard getting hyped for that system right now. It's either a year off or a year and about 8 months away, or 7 months away. So I don't know. We'll see. And but of course, one more thing about the Inside Xbox. Phil Spencer talked about how the new developers they bought that they have purchased over the last year or so, we'll have games to be shown at E3, and it also sounds like they purchased some more. They kind of hinted at it, but they really didn't say who they were, whatnot, and a lot of people believe that they were purchasing 3 more developers. So that'll be interesting. E3, of course, is around the corner. I'll keep you guys updated on gaming news, and hope you enjoyed the content, guys. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. All right, this is Jack Burton, out.